Good morning, flesh and blood. This is Dozer bringing you a new video. It's only been a couple hours since Luminaris came out, and I've just woken up for the new spoiler that we've gotten here from some anonymous source, at least for now. So Luminaris Celestial Fury is the Light Illusionist two-handed scepter weapon, which is going to be replacing the old Luminaris, which used to give everything go again if we had a yellow and pitch, but now, instead of that, we're going to have once per turn as an instant. We may pay 2, and our target angel attack or action attack action card, my apologies, with Herald in its name gets go again. This is going to be a stark contrast to what we used to see, because paying 2 means we don't have to run yellows necessarily, but we're going to be able to make a lot fewer of these go again plays unless we have a bunch of blue cards. So when we look at the heralds that this is going to work with that are currently revealed, we've got things like Wartune Herald, which off of a single blue now is going to have 7 go again Phantasm, which is still actually quite good. The downsides of not running yellows or having the yellow synergy doesn't really seem to be that big of a deal as it relates to heralds, because normally you're only able to attack 2 heralds turn anyway, so the go again didn't really matter. But the biggest thing to notice here is that this does not let us attack with auras. One of the things that I've been saying in the Prism chat in the public Discord a lot recently is that the new Luminaris would probably have a separation between aura gameplay and herald gameplay. The main reason for that is that the aura game plan was very polarizing, and being able to have everything all in one weapon was pretty strong. So being able to separate them into only having the go again on our heralds and forcing you to play Iris of Reality or potentially another weapon that we have yet to see in order to get those powerful auras onto the board as a attack target or attack source means that we're probably actually still going to see a lot more ward support. The reason I think this is because, as I've said before, if they make auras less offensive, right, via the weapon, via the card support, then they are able to make the auras better defensively. So I fully expect that we're going to see easier ways to make spectral shields because they're no longer going to represent offensive threat. And this means Shimmers of Silver is probably going to be less desirable now. So don't worry too much about getting that card. And even Library might not be seeing play. So at least in the moment, Luminaris Celestial Fury here seems like it's going to be a nerfed Luminaris, which is very fair. You know, the old Luminaris was quite overpowered. But even so, this is still going to work out for us, because if we have 2 blue cards in our hand, we'll have 6 pitch. And if we attack with the Erudition, right, we can give it go again as effectively as a reaction. And we can then play another Herald with the other floating pitch. So we still can do 2 Heralds a turn. As long as we have a blue heavy deck, we can still throw our Wartune with go again. We can still throw our Erudition with go again, you know, protections, whatever. Except now we're going to be a lot more incentivized to run stuff like Ravages instead of protection. Potentially. I mean, protection's still going to be a core card for Prism, but Ravages is going to actually deal that extra upfront damage, whereas protection will not. Notably, the new Luminaris does not work on non-heralds, so a lot of our older Phantasm cards are no longer going to be really that desirable. In fact, if we look at Fractal Replication, which is a card that I was really hoping would see play, what it will do is it'll copy the effects and the stats of cards on the chain, but does not copy the name. So the interesting thing about Fractal Replication is that we won't be able to get a lot of benefit off of it anymore, because even though we could use it to attack with the Herald of Erudition, it would gain its name, you know, or it would gain its effects rather, and would, you know, go to Soul and draw us 2 cards. We won't be able to give it go again after that. So we're already going to be seeing a departure away from that. And also we might even see a departure away from, you know, Mirage and Metamorph, because again, unless we're ending our turn with that card off of a kind of like an inefficient turn, then we're not really going to be incentivized to run it that much. So just want to make a quick update video here because this is very exciting. The new weapon is going to be fun to start tinkering with and seeing what's already possible. And, you know, what we can already think about off the top of our head is like, okay, blues are going to be much more important. Blue heralds are going to be really important. The yellow auras are probably not going to be run except for their defensive and passive utility. So things like Arclight Sentinel, things like our Passing Mirages, Pierce Realities, like these are definitely going to be playable because they're these passive buff cards. Haze Bending might see play still, but it's unlikely. with a Herald focused build because, it's not going to have a lot of other auras around it necessarily. Shimmers of Silver is going to not be playable with this new Luminaris, which is fine. And then we might still see Genesis, we might still see Ode to Wrath, we might still see Parable, but the difference here is that, again, they're not going to have the same offensive utility. So our opponents actually might even be incentivized to not kill them right away. So very excited, super thrilled to see what we get next. And I hope you guys have a good day while we wait for more news.